Merry Christmas Eve, everyone. This is Melissa with The Creative Season. We're continuing our series, Creating Through Christmas, celebrating the gifts of 2022. Today's watercolor journal is inspired by one of my very favorite Christmas carols, God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. Now stick around to the very end. I do jump back on and add in some fun details. I've created this piece to both be a wonderful way to enjoy, to celebrate, to paint, but also to do some journaling on the gifts of the season. Where has Jesus brought you tidings of comfort and joy? So we talk a little bit about that in the video, and then just some ideas for reflection. I hope you enjoy this really sweet and easy painting. Hi everyone. Well, we're continuing on with Creating Through Christmas, celebrating the gifts of 2022. This is a mini series that we're doing Christmas week for the YouTube channel. And we have a really simple sketch here, and I'm going to move into a couple of the carols for the next the conclusion of this series. And I absolutely love Christmas carols. I think they are so integrated into the Christmas season as far as the meaning, and they're so rich when you start to really sink into them. And so I love God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. So I was thinking a lot about this carol. I love what it says, that chorus, oh tidings of comfort and joy. And I love singing it when I was a child, and I still sing it all the time as an adult. You know, tidings of comfort and joy, that is what Christmas is all about. And if you're not familiar with the words of the chorus, I have just written out that first verse here. God rest you merry gentlemen, let nothing you dismay. Remember Christ our Savior was born on Christmas Day to save us all from Satan's power when we had gone astray. And then it starts repeating, oh, tidings of comfort and joy, oh, tidings of comfort and joy. I would sing it, but it wouldn't bless you guys. My voice is not that great as far as singing goes. So what I thought we were going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit more about this and about the journaling aspect, as I have a very simple sketch, because I know we're all incredibly busy, full lives, right, as we get closer to Christmas and the season, but we want to spend just a little bit of time creating, playing, reflecting, remembering, and celebrating the reason for the season. So I have just a very simple baby here and just wrapped in swaddling clothes. We're not even going to put baby Jesus in a manger. We have some stars. We're going to add some more and some light. I have a circle here. I have the sketch posted on the blog too if you want to see it, and I'll have that link. And then I have just written to start out, oh, tidings of comfort and joy. And you know how that O is like extended, like, oh, tidings. So I have it extended O over here, and then just for fun, because I love doing that. And then as I really reflected on this song, one of the things I was thinking about is how it so integrates the full story of Jesus's coming, his birth. The angel said, "Fear not, for I bring good news of great joy." And so I love this carol. The birth of Jesus brought great news of joy. Jesus was coming to save us from our sins, to bring life and restoration and freedom in so many ways. So let's start painting. What we're going to do here is we are going to do a little bit of splattering. We're going to have just a couple of colors. Feel free to use whatever colors you are wanting to use, but what I am going to actually start by doing is I want to get some nice yellow splatters for our starry sky in the back here. And we're not even going to do blue. I'm just going to do lots of yellow, and we're going to do a couple different colors of yellow. So I will say, if you do not already have another piece of paper, grab another piece of paper to cover up baby Jesus. And then go ahead and grab, get your yellows nice and wet. I'm going to come over here, and if you have a couple different yellows, that will be great. If we had more time, we would probably do a dark sky. I had done that last year in an Advent project. But again, I really just was impressed this year that with 2022 and so many things coming back to life, I have felt the busyness of the year, the fullness of the season, and how to continue to create, to celebrate, to worship during this Christmas season without making things too complicated, just keeping them simple. So you can see what I'm doing here is I am just really generously splattering all around the borders of the painting, just not quite yet. We are going to bring that yellow into it, but just not quite yet into the painting. So getting everything nice and wet. We put down a few words, but we'll add some more words later after it dries. And what I've been doing is after I paint this is in the morning or maybe in the evening is when you have your quiet time, just kind of prayer, worship, reflection. I'm actually going to get a little bit of gamboge here if I've got some. A little bit of cadmium. I've got a little bit of a darker color. We're going to get a little bit of that in the night sky just to add some variety. And that's when I'm doing the rest of the writing. And that's been really lovely, actually, to go back and after I've thought about what I've thought about the artwork, thought about the theme of the song in this case, and really seen where I am at in my heart. And again, ideally in a quiet place, right? Where the busyness and the activities of the day have settled down a bit. So that's really nice. I love that. I actually would like some more down here too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take masking tape, and that just creates a sense of, when I set the paper down, it's not going to flatten my, the splatterings on top. I'm just going to move this down and just come around, and once again, as if the starry host is just surrounding the baby Jesus. Just we have angels and stars, and I'm sure their voices as they sung. You do wonder how many people heard, besides the shepherds, was there villagers who also heard the shepherds singing on that night? I've always loved the words of the song, God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. I do not know why. It's very Old English. And even let nothing you dismay. I think that memory of no matter what is going on, do not let your heart be troubled, right? Do not let the things of the world get you down. And it's not that circumstances are going to be wonderful, but that we're not to let them get into us, right? We're supposed to let the season of Christmas, Jesus, permeate everything within us, and that changes our reaction and our response to life and to the things that are going on all around us. Okay, so here we are. I have lots and lots of splatters all around here, which is fabulous. This is exactly what I want. We're going to let that sit for just a second. I am going to make some movement with the stars. With Jesus's face, do not worry. We are not going to paint a face. I'm going to take some gamboge and some burnt sienna. So for just a very soft, light tan, and I'm going to go ahead and just cover that and just put that on. Okay, so needed just to change that battery. We are back. And as I was saying, what we've done is we just, with baby Jesus' face, if you did not catch that last part, I'm going to come in here a little bit closer, but I've just taken burnt sienna and a little bit of gamboge to create a soft tan for the baby's face. And then what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take blue. You can do whatever color you want for the swaddling clothes. And I'm going to just create a blue. And because I think what I might do is I might do some blue in the sky too. We're going to do some more splatters. But whatever blue you have, I have a darker blue. I have a cobalt blue. And I think I picked up phthalo blue though. So I'm just going to go ahead and create here the baby's clothes. The cloth he was wrapped in. And then I'm going to just go around too. I just pretended what we're going to do is he's just wrapped completely up here. Now you notice too, I got maybe a few too many splatters right down here. That's okay. I'm going to just turning a little bit green. I'm not going to let that bother me. So I'm just going to move on ahead and just laying down that paint. And the other thing I'm thinking about, because what we'll end up doing is I was thinking about, as I'm thinking about Jesus, thinking about this song, what Jesus coming to earth meant for all of us, and thinking of how the comfort and joy, how is Jesus your comfort and joy? How has he shown up to be a comfort and a joy to you? How has he quieted your fears in your life and the lives of those around you, and just reflecting on that and then worshiping and celebrating that this year. It's so easy sometimes to keep going and forget to say thank you, to forget to just sit at his feet and pray and celebrate how he has been our comfort and joy, right? So I'm going to just let this paint part sit. If you want to put anything inside the clothes, you can see too, I'm leaving blank white spaces because it's watercolor. We want it to dance and sing. So a little bit seeped into his face. If you notice that, just grab your paper towel or your soft cloth and just come in. And so we have our sweet baby now. Now what I'm going to do too is I want to take some of that yellow and pull it in. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of my yellow. I'm actually going to do a little bit more splattering right up here. We're going to start pulling it in. And then I'm going to take some yellow And I'm going to start on the stars. This is the big star. That was the star that announced his birth. I am going to start just pulling that and then pulling those lines all the way down. And then even extending more. If you want to get a larger brush and then get it really wet, this will help to loosen everything up. And what I'm going to do is I'm once again just going to pull it and then just start kind of expanding some of that light. The reason we didn't want to do the blue splatters is that if we then started pulling, it would turn everything green, and I don't want it to be green. But we are creating a sense too where you're going to be able to journal in that area right down here. I'm going to take some of that yellow too. I'm just going to wrap it right around here, almost a halo, just pulling that just around here. I'm going to take my paintbrush now, the brown that we had created, the burnt sienna, and the gamboge, or just even using some burnt sienna. And I am going to go ahead and do some sparkling splattering right down here. If you notice that the baby's face, I blotted out a lot of my color. I'm just going to maybe put a little bit more color back in there and adding that in there. And then I'm also going to come back up here with some of my other stars, the smaller ones, and I'm just going to outline them. And we're just kind of creating some depth. We don't want everything yellow, right? And just letting that sit there. I sometimes think, it's really hard to paint angels. I had tried last year, so sometimes when I think of the stars, I think of the angels. We're just painting some as they were singing, announcing his birth. Okay, all right, so we gotta let that sit for a minute. Now, you can kind of see where we're going with this too. If we put too many splatters on this, it starts to merge. I'm just going to take a little bit more of my color. I had a little bit more of orange that I'm mixing with the yellow, and I'm just going to splatter around here. And we're just about done. These were supposed to be quick. We want to be able to, we know everything is super busy right now. I'm going to go ahead and take that darker color and put it right in there, accenting some of my stars and letting them just spread out as stars do. Pulling those colors, again, I have a little bit of orange in that yellow, which is giving it just a bit of warmth and a bit of depth. Beautiful. I think I'd like a little bit more in color, but I don't want a lot. What we're going to do is just grab some of the blue now. If you want to let it sit and wait for a few minutes so it dries, feel free to do that. I just want to bring this blue, and I want to bring that color all the way around. So I am going to go ahead. I'm just going to go ahead and splatter very gently all the way around. And I am going to go splatter one more time too, and then I'm just going to take added a little bit of water, and I'm just going to put that blue and just circling around. And even just a little bit over here. Just creating a sense of that circle. And we're actually going to call this good. This is going to allow me to journal right in here. If you want to sprinkle some more blue, feel free to just splatter a little bit more blue within that circle. It's going to dry nice and light. And then you can use that middle part to do some journaling. How has Jesus been your comfort and joy this year? What is the good news that he's brought you? It could be simply reflecting on salvation that he's given you. It could be very specific things this year. It could be something done in someone else's life that you are giving him thanks for. I know there's been just several people who've had just wonderful things happen in their lives this year that I'm just worshiping the Lord with them. So play with your brush, let that color come in. It's a lovely way to create your own personalized journal page. Have some fun mixing colors, painting, and celebrating the joy of the season. All right, you guys, I'm going to pull this back up now so you can see the whole thing. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day today. I'll talk to you guys soon. Happy Christmas Eve, everyone. It is Christmas Eve as I'm doing this final recording. I wanted to come back in and just show you a few of the ways that I was going to add some details. So what I love about these projects is that final point when I take up all the tape is completely dry. And a lot of times when I'm doing these watercolor journals, this is the time where maybe I'm bringing this to my table in the morning, right when I get up and writing some things down, thinking about some things, but just doing that final detail work in a really comfortable, quiet place. So As you can see, those turned out really, really fun. We have the beautiful sense of kind of that blending, that mystery, right? Everything is shrouded a little bit. We've got some area for writing. And you can always too flip it on the back and do your journaling or we had talked about, what is Jesus to you? Tidings of comfort and joy. What are those tidings of comfort and joy in your life this past year? You can do it on the back. I'll probably do some more on the back later, but you can also, I just wanted to show you a few things you might want to do. If you're just kind of in that contemplative space and you want to do some doodling, I've got a gold paint pen here. You can also use a micron pen, but you can go ahead, let's see how much paint. I know one of these was running out a bit. So again, I go ahead and just add in some gold. I think we're going to add in some gold. It was working. So maybe what I'll do is I will actually just revert back, keep shaking this up, but just a little bit more of the stars in the sky. So adding just a little bit of detail there. You can also I was going to put in some words. So maybe, I'm putting the words of Isaiah 6, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace, and being the baby Jesus, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. And then thinking too about tidings of comfort and joy. Thinking about, the grace, and I might even put down here that I have thought great acts of grace towards me, mercy. And again, you can kind of continue on, but just continuing on adding in what you're thankful for. The God of all comfort, He's certainly been that to me. Comforter, restorer, just how Jesus has brought me comfort and joy. You can do as detailed as you want in here, continuing to add some more detail, continuing to write. And then if you want to do one more layer, I'm still shaking up this gold pen. I had a bunch of them and they have scattered because it's Christmas, right? And you're running around thinking, I know I had all those things. If you do get a chance to do, okay, here's a little bit of that gold. What's really fun with the gold paint is that it will bounce off when you add in some more watercolor. So I'm going to just do a little bit more over here, coming back over here, and then I'm going to pull this back up so you can see real closely. And then I'll come back in and I will do maybe just one more layer of splattering because now everything's dry. And when we had splattered earlier, the paint tends to blend because watercolor, that's what it likes to do. But on this final little bit of color here, as I'm continuing just to kind of revel in the beauty and mystery of Christmas Eve morning. It is really cloudy and misty and foggy out this morning. I went for a walk and everywhere was just shrouded in fog. And it was just a beautiful way to start the day and moving around here. And this is if you want to add in some blue, now your blue's not going to turn to green. So add in some blue around. I do love the way that our colors blended right down here. That really turned out very, very lovely. I'm going to pick up some yellow and I'm just going to do one more in our main star. And yeah, the blue's going to blend a little bit, but that's okay. And just pulling out some yellow. And with the gold now, that looks really pretty. Just doing a little bit of coloring back over here. A little bit more yellow, pulling that down over some of the words. Depending how inky your pen is, you might even see that it gets, a little bit, the words might blend a little bit, but that's okay. I'm just going to go ahead and put some more light around baby Jesus. I'm going to grab a darker yellow and then just do a little bit more splattering right around his head. And there we go. I think we're all finished. And again, take your time with this. I just wanted to show you that final outcome of when you put all the details. Sometimes that beautiful mystery and that kind of extra pop is in that final layering. So I hope you have an absolutely wonderful Christmas Eve and a wonderful Christmas celebration with your family and friends this weekend. I will be back. We will probably be doing one more carol. There's one more I wanted to do. That's a wonderful way just to culminate with the Christmas season, and just go into this next week of rest and reflection. So I'll see you very soon. I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day.